coming to you live from Cape Town.
Today's video is going to be about studying and just how to do well in law school and how to prepare for finals.
Yeah, we're going to go over briefs, timelines,
outlines,
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supplements.
Yep, supplements.
You want to start us out?
Alright, so to start us out, I guess I'll start with briefs. I briefed a lot.
But what is brief?
Breakdown of a case, in other words, right? So it summarizes what you went through in the case, and it's probably helpful to explain by looking at it. So I will show y'all one of my case briefs. And this is just a general case brief template that I use. So as you can see towards page numbers, because if I was on call, I still was gonna open that book up and I still was gonna use those pages. This is a strict liability, as you can see, blah, 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 blah. So basically, the name of the case went here, the year, the facts of the case. This is a little more dense. As the semester went on, my case briefs got a little shorter because I remembered things and I was able to decipher between what was important, what wasn't important. But here, just general facts, plaintiff, defendant, etc., etc. The procedural history, just procedure here, is just like the posture. So what happened in the lower court, how did it get to this court upon appeal, things like that. The issue is specifically the issue that you're talking about in class, right? Because some cases will have multiple issues, but it's just important to have the issue that the professor is concerned about. The holding for that specific issue, reasoning is, what did the court say was their reason for holding that? I feel like it's self-explanatory, I think. But the reason I'm pointing that out is because that's very different from dicta, which is just like other things that the court may have said that's important for whatever reason. Yeah, and then the rule of law is the most important part, pretty much, which is what you're gonna actually have to take away and use for outlines, use for your exams, etc., because that's what you're gonna be looking for as your issue spotting. And the dissent, I used to always write dissents, but I realized as the semester went on, they weren't as important, I guess. If your professor still wants you to read the dissent and you're gonna talk about the dissent, it's very important, I guess, to write down what they said. I don't know. And in class, I actually used to print these out. So I would move the spacing, for example, like this, based on the course and how much I can tell the professor was gonna talk about each of those things. So hypotheticals, I wrote down literally hypotheticals that the professor said in class. Rules and elements was the professor's way of stating the rules. So literally this right here is in my words, and these rules and elements would be whatever the professor thought the rules were. Rationales was the professor's reasoning, and the nuggets were just like little key facts that the professor would say in class, excuse me, that I felt like would be important, pretty much. So yeah, that is a case brief.
Cool. So I took a different approach to briefing than Sam did. If y'all remember from the How to Prepare for Law School video, I said I watched stage videos before law school, and one of his recommendations was to read briefs and kind of like go based on that, but not to make your own. So I kind of like just took that to heart and kept that like throughout law school. So before class, I'll like find a case brief summary or use Quimby. Quimby is like a site where they have like case briefs, lecture videos, practice tests, all these things. It's free for like the first 6 months with your law school email, and then after that, it's about like, I want to say like $20 a month, something like that. I can't remember. I think
it's through the ABA, right?
Yeah, it's through the ABA, and I think when I thought it was worth it, I was like on Quimby every single day. But if Quimby doesn't have the case I'm looking for, I'll just Google it. Sometimes Wikipedia has it. But so this is an example from corporations. So be the case name, and then this is like my little summary of the case, like donating to charity case. Like that's something that's gonna make me remember like what this case is about. And it has like a brief fact summary, the rule of law, the facts. All these I copied from online. And these are like the highlights I made as I was reading through it. The issue, like what the court decided. And at the bottom, I take my notes in class on my computer. So then at the bottom in a different color, I put like the class notes on that case. So that's what I did for every class. And I find that really helpful. So
yeah, I think you just find what works for you.
Yeah. Is that it on briefing?
I think that's it on briefing.
All right.
But I would say, okay, I would add one little caveat to the end as far as briefing. If you find something that works well for you first semester, don't stop doing it second semester. So if you're briefing all through first semester and you end up doing really well, don't listen to anybody that's like, you don't need to brief anymore. Like just follow what you're doing, do your own thing basically.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
Next, outlines. Outlines are next. So outlining, basically people will talk about outlines from like the second you get to law school, like who has outlines, people are trying to get outlines for upperclassmen. Basically outlines are just your notes in an organized fashion that you can use quickly on an exam. For Civ Pro, for example, our 101 class, I started outlining for that class like a couple weeks into school. For other classes, I started like way late, like in November. So I think, I don't know, I guess it depends. I think for certain classes it's helpful to have like a better overall sense of what the class is about before you start outlining, because that'll help you be able to organize your outline better. Because like I said, it's really important for like, one, using on the test and helping you like realize how all the topics you talked about all through semester relate to one another. So if you haven't been through that many topics yet, for some classes it can be hard to outline. For a class like Civ Pro, I thought it was easy to outline early on because the subjects were very like distinct from one another. It was like pleadings didn't really relate to class actions, which didn't really relate to like the other subjects. So I started, after each subject I would outline it. So I'll show y'all my health outline.
Yeah, I'll just add the general rule of thumb in law school is that you should be outlining by Halloween. Like after Halloween, people typically go ghost. Like at Columbia, there's a Halloween party, and that's like the big hurrah. Like after this, you ain't gonna see nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. So this is my health outline. So every topic had a different color. I'm a very visual learner. So the introduction material, which is like the basic policy stuff, was green, and then insurance was pink, and like that's how I had it on my actual, like when I printed this out and was highlighting, I highlighted and tabbed my textbook in these colors. I have like little graphs in there. These are all charts from like our PowerPoints in class. Some of them are like my personal notes that I made with different sections, leg 1, things like that. As I highlight through this section, like I keep the highlights, I keep it consistent, so I kept it in pink. I have tables from the textbook.
So the way I outline was a little different. Like you can outline, so just to get some background, based on the table of contents, or you can outline based upon the syllabus. So I would outline
for organization.
Yeah, for organization, and it like breaks down into different topics. Like if you look at the syllabus in your book now, you'll see that. I mean the syllabus from your professor or the table of contents in the book now, you'll see that. It helped me to process information based on how the professor tested, right? Like, so for example, for our torch exam, the professor literally tested based upon a book, if that makes sense. So because I outlined based on the table of contents, it's easier to then just learn information of that book, yeah. And it was would that be a supplement?
Yeah, that was a supplement.
Yeah, it was a supplement. So yeah, this is just a general outline. I don't even know if it's mine or what, to be honest.
But you see they're very organized. Like it has like big Roman numeral 2, then like A, then like subheadings. So
yeah, that's also
really important.
I would also always make all my outlines because that was just how I learned the information, and that's the importance of making it, right? Like for some people, they'll always just take someone else's outline and basically incorporate their own class notes and then restructure that outline however they want, and that's really helpful for them. So that's another alternative. But I would just make my own, and basically I would start with a huge outline. For example, this one is 70 pages, and this is for international law. So I'll start with a bigger outline, and then when I got closer to the point where I was taking practice exams, I would make that outline shorter. I wouldn't really summarize it, I'd literally just take out this is kind of how my outlines would look by the time I made it to the end. I have a table of contents. I'm color coded as well, but it'd be like main sections, rules, like I coded it that way, so not by topics how Angel did. It would literally be like rules were one color, exceptions were one color, things like that. So, okay, this is not working how I want it to work. I'll just go this way. So yeah, so you'll see that it's like table of contents based on the rules, things like that, hearsay, evidence. This was the outline that I took to exams. I didn't take 100-page outlines to exams. Because it just, to me, even if I knew where everything was, it'd be crazy to try to look through that during the actual exam. And then, in addition to a shorter outline, there would be an attack outline. So for example, this is what an attack outline looks like. Relevance, character evidence, things like that, where everything was literally on one page. So everything you needed, at least I needed, I thought I needed. I can show you another one. You have an attack?
I have an attack. Also, a caveat for why we're focusing so much on like what you bring into exams is that for the overwhelming majority of your exams will be open book. Like there's only a few classes in law school that you can't bring notes. So it's really important to be like strategic about what you're bringing in and like how well you know it and things like that. So I'll pull up one of my attack outlines. This is my attack outline for Civ Pro.
That's what I was trying to find. It's like mine is so extreme.
Yeah, so every topic is in a different box. So like if that topic comes up on the test and I need really quickly to remember how to like address this issue and go through all the points I need to talk about, then I'll just go to the box where it is. So it was 2 pages front and back. Kind of like the pleading section, like really well organized. And these they took me like a full day to make each attack outline, which is studying in itself. Like making these outlines, making an attack outline, that's a form of studying. Which is why I've always found it helpful to make all my own attack outlines and outlines. I think for me it's a form of studying.
Yeah, so I also just wanted to show you guys like how real it is when we talk about acquiring documents, but I literally just searched it and like I'll probably redact their names or like take it out somehow. But even just looking at all these materials that people have sent me, like just passing it around, and then like it's passed on, you can see even further to more 1Ls, well that are rising 2Ls now, because it's important to get them. On that accord, it's really important to get an outline, I think. Like it's hard if you don't know the professor, it's a visiting professor. It's important to reach out to your friends at other schools if you know that's where the professor came from. For example, when a 1L will ask for an outline from a professor that's visiting or is here for the first time from another semester, the 2Ls and the 3Ls will actually reach out to their friends. And like, we had a lot of people from Berkeley, so like we would reach out to people at Berkeley. It's like, hey, I have so-and-so professor, do you know anyone who has an outline, or do you have access to an outline bank where I can acquire an outline for that professor, etc.
Yeah.
Why can't I find my Civ Pro attack? Cause it's fire, y'all. Look how like intense this civil rights outline is. Look at all these colors. Is it this? Yep, I found it. So look, for example, this is what I was looking for to show y'all. This is my Civ Pro attack outline. Look at all these colors, all these arrows, all these. I literally checked boxes as I went through to make sure I was getting everything in the issue spotter. It's like literally these are all little baby rules in rules. Like look at this. This was crazy, and all the colors mean something in my head. Like all the numbers, like they're indications of where to find things. Like literally, it's crazy.
But for outlining, you have anything else?
For outlining,
color code.
Oh,
use other people, make your own.
I'm hesitant to say this because I want you to start outlining on time. But if you don't start outlining on time, I think it is more important to take final exams, like take old exams, than it is to finish your outline. And that's just my own opinion. So like, if you literally outlining, you're like, wow, it's gonna take me 2 weeks to finish this outline, and my exam is in 3 weeks, I'd still start taking exams before you finish that outline. Because that's the best way to know what you don't know, and that's the best way to figure out how your professor exams, and that's tests. And I think that that is the most important thing when it comes to finals. Supplements. So the main thing I used 1L year, I did a program called Law Preview that was with Barber's for 2 weeks before the semester began. And because I did that program, they gave us access to 1L Mastery. And with 1L Mastery, it was literally like professors recording lectures from different institutions for the same topics that we were going over in class. And literally everyone in all law schools were doing the same thing, right? Some people are on a faster pace, meaning that contracts is 1 semester versus 2, or like con law or whatever it is. Some schools you take like property 2L, like things like that. But we're taking
the subject matter is the same.
Yeah, for 1L at least, basically it's the same thing. So no matter what outline you get, whatever, you're getting the same material. So I used 1L Preview a lot. Like I remember for property I was freaking out, and I went through every single 1L Preview video. And that's how I started my outline. But other than that, I didn't really use a lot of supplements 1L, except for Abraham.
When we had to read. I used Quimby a lot. I watched all their lecture videos for every subject, every video. Like I would watch them after well, for certain classes, I would watch them after we finish that subject, and then I'll go on Quibi, find a lecture video on that subject and watch them and like outline the videos. Like I was outlining, mixing my class notes and the Quibi video notes that I was taking. And I don't think it has to be Quibi, but I think using a supplement is so important in law school because the professors are not always very like forward and direct with what the law actually is, which sounds crazy because it's law school, so you think like you'd be in class learning the law, but you're in class talking about cases, talking about how you feel about the cases, the facts and all that, and they're not testing you on that. All they're testing you on is like, what is the law, like where's the ambiguity, all that kind of stuff. And supplements are better at just telling you that stuff up front that you're actually going to be tested on. I feel like what professors tell you need to do well, which is just like read the casebook, do the readings, take notes in class, and listen to me and lecture. I feel like that's not enough. I feel like you need a supplement or something, someone else's outline. You need something else to read to give you like basically the bare bones of what the law is, because that's not always super clear when you're reading a case, and then the next case you read after that is another judge disagreeing with them. So you're like, what's the actual law in this area? Sometimes it's really confusing.
Like common law?
Yeah, so it's like, what is the settled law? So use supplements. I think it's underemphasized when you get to law school.
No, I'd even go further and say I don't think it's underemphasized. I think it's very much so emphasized a lot with the student body.
With the students, not the teachers.
I was gonna say
they pretend like you don't need them.
No, they tell you not to use them.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. So I think like that's where I made the mistake right at the beginning.
Because you're listening to them?
Yeah, like don't. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't listen to them. If you feel like everybody else using them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to tell you not to listen to your professor, but they will literally tell you not to use them.
And it's not true. They'll be like, you don't need supplements in this class. But like 9 times out of 10, you need a supplement in that class to really understand the law.
Most of your class using supplements, they're getting it faster than you, and that's going to be important when it comes to issue spotting and being able to utilize the law when it comes to taking exams. Yeah. So there's that. So it's a decision that you have to make, but I'd go supplements.
Yeah, my recommendation is to use supplements for every class.
I agree.
Brief supplements, outlining.
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Oh, I guess we want to add one caveat. We're pretty sure that after we post this video, people are going to email us and ask us to send them our outlines. And unfortunately, we can't do that. So we're not going to be able to send you our outlines, our exact outlines, and all that. But we hope this was helpful and detailed enough for you to be able to like make yours or like have the tools to make your own outline.
Agreed. I was gonna say, so I guess 2 things, right? 2 last things. It's not about this at all. We're just going to one is we were gonna make a video about EIP, which is the early interview process, and going through that
how to get a job, basically.
How to get a job, pretty much, yeah. So now I have to explain it. How to get a job. But we felt like it's too late now. And we're gonna wait until November when it comes around to getting 1L jobs. But I guess let us know if you still want us to do that video right now, so we'll do it.
Yeah.
And 2, Halloween is coming soon.
I know. Give us Halloween costume ideas, because Sam always waits till the last minute to think of a Halloween costume.
You see how it's my job, right? You see how it's like I wait till last minute?
And we don't want to wait till the last minute this year. And we want our outfit to be even better than Salt and Pepper last year.
So we'll show y'all. So here goes last year's costume.
Yeah.
And here goes the year before's costume.
Yep. So please help us out. Think of an even better costume. It's our last law school Halloween.
Right. And we don't even know if they celebrate Halloween here, but we do it regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess if y'all want David to be a part, let us know what y'all think David could be in the costume idea.
David gonna be like the pimp is the prostitute.
Oh my god, he really would too. He's like, come on now. You know Halloween is the only time of the year where women can do this.
Bruh. Alright, well thank you so much for watching. Let us know if you have any more questions, and we will see you next time.
Alright, and like, comment, subscribe, and share. We out of here.
Alright.